Hello, everybody. I was going to say Happy New Year, but today is the 29th of December 2019. So we're not quite Happy New Year yet. Not quite in the new year yet. And I don't know when you'll be listening to this, but this will definitely be broadcasted just before 2020. So if you are listening around the New Year's time, Happy New Year to you and a belated Merry Christmas. So this is my first attempt in really doing what I really wanted to do in 2020, which is broadcasting in many different ways to different audiences. So if you love video, come onto my YouTube channel and watch this in video. But if you just love to listen, like I love listening to podcasts, then listen to my podcast as well. So you will have the various options. This is really through a journey of me going through and looking at what did well in 2019 and what I really want to deliver and make my life really flow a lot better, and also that allows me to utilize my time to serve more of you guys. Which brings me to my topic today. I really want to talk about, um, you know, looking forward, planning your year ahead, but also the concept of a decade in review. Now, this concept was brought to me when I was watching Marie Forleo's decade in review videos. And for those of you who love Marie Forleo, or for those of you who love planning, who love looking ahead, who um, basically want to live your life in the next decade at a higher level, I highly recommend this video series. In fact, I am going to actually post the links on this on the broadcasting channels so you could have access to it. So during the Christmas break, what I did was that I've actually went through the decade in review process, if you want to call it, and it was really interesting because quite often when we're setting goals and we're reviewing things, we focus on the short term. And that's also why we tend to overestimate what we can achieve in a short period of time and underestimate what we can achieve in a long period of time. And we really don't give ourselves credit enough in terms of what we have achieved. So through doing this process, I realized, wow, life is so different right now compared to 2010 and 2009. And that was just amazing because I realized how much more I could do in the next decade with all the knowledge that I have learned in the past 10 years, right? And my biggest realization is really, number one, you could do anything you want. If you want to turn your life around, you could essentially do that. I did that in the last 5 years, right? It's not even a whole decade. It took me 5 years to get to where I am now. The other thing is also, it's never too late. It's never too late. If you're not happy with where you are now, it's never too late. And the third biggest learning I've learned is that, really, we all have time. And the amount of things we could achieve in 10 years is tremendous if you really set your heart to it. And that is just amazing. So I really highly recommend everyone going through that process. So it starts with reviewing what are the things you're most proud of. And then she goes into, what are some of the key learnings you've learned and why are they important? And the second part is about letting go of those things that no longer serve you, including goals, habits, behaviors, all those things, and what are you going to do about it? Then the last thing is what I love. Think about where will you be in 2030? Yes. Oh my God, it sounds so far away. In 2030, I would be 46. It's really write down on that day, what would you have be achieved? What would your decade review look like, right? In the different areas of your life, what would those things look like? And then scale it down. What are the top 3 things? And 3 things only, okay? Because if you have a long list of things, you might as well forget about setting goals. You won't achieve them. Too many goals means you're not focused, which then means you can't achieve anything. So only top 3 things that you want to achieve. And this last bit is something that I add to, which I love as well, which is, your future you talking to yourself. So you may be thinking, Lala, why are you talking about all these things? Everyone else talking about it. Why is it so important? I think for me, there's a couple of things, right? We don't often appreciate ourselves. We don't spend enough time celebrating our success. And this is time. I didn't even realize we went past a decade until I saw this video and go, oh my God, 2020 is essentially a brand new decade. And if you want to start your life new, you may have seen things going around already. Like for me, I'm seeing a lot of changes in my life. I'm also seeing a lot of new things coming on board, almost like the whole world is ready for this new beginning. Okay? And I believe the best way to set yourself up for the future is to actually look back on some of your learnings. What are the successes? What were the challenges? What are the learnings? And how can we learn from our past learnings? So, one, we don't make the same mistakes again. Two, so we can let go of those things that doesn't belong to us anymore. And three, use your strength. I'm a huge fan in utilizing your strength. Use your strength, the things that you have learned that you're good at from the past decade, bring it into the new decade to help you with anything and everything that you want to achieve. Okay? And that's pretty much also about looking at now. Where are we now? Because if you don't know where you are right now, for example, right now, I know where my business is. I just made my first $10,000 year in the last 12 months. For a small business that's on the side, I've only just started. So this is my third business that I've started on the side. And this is the one that I'm now most passionate about. It took me 3 years to find this passion. And this is our first year in operation, $10,000. So I am celebrating. I am celebrating massively. I've published my first book, all these things. And I now have established my place, my passion, and I know what is my purpose, what I am here to do. That allowed me to look into the future and go, oh, okay. So with all these learnings, I can now plan my next 10 years. I know I've made 10. So next year, my goal is to, first of all, establish consistent 5K months. And then by December, I want to achieve my first 8K month. Because what I wanted to do is to be able to replace using the income from my business to replace my full-time job. Not because I want to quit my full-time job, because then I know I can spend more time with my family and I can use this fund to help more people and essentially build the tea hub that I wanted to build, which is my grand vision for the next 10 years, right? I want to be able to move my family to the country. I want to be able to homeschool my kids, spend more time with them, have autonomy in my business so I don't have to be running a business or working in an office. That's my goal for the next 10 years. So how am I going to do it this coming year? So are you seeing how this sort of works? I know it's a bit jumble mumble all over the place, but essentially in order to set your goals and make sure that you are on that right path to your goal, to look at the past, the future, and where you are now. With a combination of all three, you will then be able to come up with a plan. Because now I know what I can achieve in 1 year. I know I can then break down my 10-year goal into smaller chunks, and then they don't seem as daunting anymore, right? So here we go. I didn't feel like sharing, I didn't plan to share this before, but now I think I will share this with you. This is the final process which I have added to, is future me have my back. I learned it from Ruby Lee. I've also done a similar process myself through visualization. But this is essentially what you do. You pretend that today is the 29th of December. So I'm going to pretend it's the 31st of December to 2020. And this is the future me now talking to the current me in 2019. And this is what you do, right? So I'm going to talk about the 7 areas in my life and how wonderful 2020 has been. So here we go. Hi, Lala. Congratulations. This is your future me in 2020, December 31st, as we're about to cross into 2021. Oh my goodness. What a wonderful year it has been, and what an amazing year. You definitely have put everything in there and all in and went all in. All your online courses has been very successful this year, and we definitely have made it. We not only achieved consistently 5K plus months, but in November, we have officially achieved our first 8K month. How amazing is that? In 2021, we would have achieved our goals in basically achieving so the business income would be overtaking your salary. And it's just great timing. It's perfect timing. Everything's set up for you two twins to arrive in this world so you can take that 1 year maternity leave that you've always wanted. How amazing is that? You finally establish a passion that you're so passionate about. You're helping tens and thousands of people who are watching your YouTube videos, who are listening to your podcast, who are on your Facebook group, who didn't think that their visions, their dreams were possible. You help them unearth their secret desires and really actually taking steps towards them. You just have so much love and passion in your business, and it's like you're on fire whenever you're talking about what you love. The relationship you have with Scott is stronger and stronger, grows stronger and stronger each day. You both love what you do, and you are just this divine power couple that shows people what the perfect feminine and masculine power really is. When you have two divine people coming together, that divine unity is what's going to make our world a better place, what is going to help people achieve their dreams. And you finally come out of the closet. You finally feel free to talk about your woo-woo side and utilizing it to help people achieving their dreams. So many of your female clients in construction are now empowered to show who they really are, be more connected with themselves, and really spreading more love and femininity in a positive way in construction. And understand they don't have to be so macho and punchy and like the guys. There is a place for that feminine energy, for girls to be just as girls in construction. Just because it's a masculine industry does not mean that we have to use masculinity to build our industry. You have now been recognized by the industry as spokesperson for female power. Not through equality though, because you believe in complete different kind of equality. Right, so we're not fighting for 50-50 in construction, in every aspect of construction. What we're fighting for is that everyone can utilize their strength and their power that was given to them by birth to really build the dreams that they want and contribute to the benefit of mankind. I am so excited for you over here in 2020. It's everything that you've wanted. And you're going to love this journey with ease and flow and grace every step of the way. We're here cheering for you. We're here cheering for you. And I can't wait to share this day with you, with all your wins, and knowing how everything will just flow and falling into places. Plenty of love. Have a wonderful 2020, Lala. So here it is. That's my 2020 vision. It's really mainly around business, but that's my focus for 2020. That's what I really want to do in 2020 is just focus on my business. Obviously, you could do, all areas of life. I did a little bit, relationship, spirituality, emotions, business, career, wealth, health. You could even do where you like to travel to. All those things. So what it is for those of you who's like, well, what the heck is this about, right? Give me more facts. The thing is, our mind, our unconscious mind cannot tell between what's imagined and what has happened. In other words, what's real and what's been vividly imagined by you. So by doing that exercise, or if you like a visualization exercise, what will actually happen is you are inserting this goal of yours into your unconscious mind as if it's already happened. And because the unconscious mind could not tell between what's happened and what's vividly imagined, it's thinking, well, I'm already there. So then it becomes so much easier for you to achieve it because you know it's already there. Okay, you might be thinking it's about woo-woo and it's not real, but I really encourage you guys to research if you are curious about this, or you're like, no, I don't believe this, but I want to find out more. Just have a look, Google it. It's scientifically proven, and it's also tested in many cases. It's not just a woo-woo phenomenon. Neurolinguistic programming uses this technique, and also there's a thing called timeline therapy that uses the same technique, projecting into the future, or even hypnotherapists use the same technique. It's all the same. It's about bypassing our critical factor, which is our judging factor that rejects a lot of information, to help our brain coping with different bits of information coming into us. Bypassing that critical factor and letting our brain believe that whatever we're dreaming, whatever we're desiring is actually there. And then the critical thing is then to take action. So in the follow-up podcast and the videos, I'm going to talk about how you can actually take action. So it's not just about, oh yeah, I dreamed about this is what's going to happen. I believe, and this is what I call my big 5 pillars of transformation, is that number 1, you need the vision. And that's what we just did, right? Then you need a strategy. How are you going to achieve that vision? That's your how. And then you need a system, which is the logical path. For those of you who work in construction, it's like we've got our programs, we've got all the different things that we use to make sure that we're on track with our construction progress, right? Or we know to employ the right consultant, the right tradies to do the things. So that's the system. And then with the system as well, obviously you need to have a network of support, which is what I talk about time and time again. It's so important to have the right network of support and a little bit of magic, of course. And that's where my spiritual side comes in, where I do a lot of visualization, meditation, and all those sort of things. This is essentially what I call the 5 pillars of transformation. And funny enough, throughout this period, Christmas period, that has become just become that light bulb moment for me. That's exactly what we need in order to achieve our dreams. And that's the exact system that I followed. It's not all visionary, which is the big picture stuff. And it's not all the little stuff like the detail, because to have one and not the other, you go out of balance, right? So we need a bit of vision, which allow us to know where we're heading to. It's like importing that destination into your GPS. But you also need the details, like when to turn right, when to turn left, when to go straight, go around the roundabout, what's the speed. The perfect combination, which is my 5 pillars of transformation, is what is going to help you get there. So if you are interested, make sure you drop me a line, or make sure you follow my podcast and my YouTube channel, because that's what I'll be talking about in the next few episodes and in the upcoming days. Also, I'll be sharing with you on a lot of the new courses that are coming up. Feel free to drop me a line if you want to know what's coming up. So I'll be covering the 5. So everything's about 5 this year. I just feel like the energy of 5 is so vivid to me right now. So I'll be covering the 5 areas of life that I believe are the 5 pillars of life for me. Basically, that's your emotion, that's your health, your wealth, your relationships, and then, of course, your career or business. And I believe, with these 5 pillars, you've got the 5, obviously, the transformation factor that supports it. And then I'll be talking about the 5 emotional pillars and the 5 personal pillars that supports it, which will Oh my God, I'm just so excited. That's why I'm rambling about all these things that I'm doing in 2020. But yes, business is going to be quite a little bit different. We're actually going to insert a lot more system and processes in place to help you transform which area of your life. So that's it for us today. On the next video, I will actually be talking about story because, going over Christmas, interacting with people, I realized, oh my God, there's so many story around. And I actually want to share with you guys the power of story and how you can help your kids understand big concept, big theories, or even things you want them to act upon based on storytelling. So I'm excited to share that with you guys, and I look forward to see you guys again next time. Like I said, if you want to find out more, want to know about all this content I'm sharing with you guys, make sure you follow my YouTube channel or follow my podcast. Or even better, you can jump onto my Facebook, which is Angela Wang and Co., where I'll be sharing all this information with you as well. Love you guys. As always, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.